You're going to love this. If you believe in evolution, you need to pay attention.
Oh, bloody hell. This is from a Nephilimfree video. Link below if you can stomach over 15 minutes of baseless assertions on why DNA repair disproves evolution. I started out doing a rebuttal on the whole thing, but the assertions raised have already been done to death by people far more qualified than myself, and of course more qualified than Neph. Basically, I wanted to address one specific point. Now, I'm a firm believer in YouTube videos being as short as possible. To debunk a video over 15 minutes long would require a response in excess of that. So I'll just touch upon a few issues before getting to the main point of this video. Now, Neph comes out with the usual nonsense about the source of all information, such as DNA, being just like digital code, or like a book, totally ignoring that neither of these automatically self-replicate, nor experience random mutations. Also, these are known to be human-generated, where the actual identity of the authors are always easily traceable. So where is the authorship of DNA code? He also trots out the tired old and incorrect assertions that there are no beneficial mutations, and even strawmans that for evolution to work, molecules must have intelligence.
Material quantities such as molecules have no potential to create information. Zero. Information comes only from mind. Information cannot arise because of material quantities. There's nothing in nature that allows for nature to produce information. Information is an abstract. It is a construct of mind. All sources of information are mind. If you trace back any information, you'll find that it comes from mind. Always.
So, Neph has his own definition of information. Well, as far as I'm concerned, anything that exists must contain information, even if only at the quantum level, because information is what gives the potential to describe anything that exists. Indeed, if something has no information, then it cannot possibly exist. If something exists, then that is the information. You see, when this veiled argument of Neph's is stripped down to the bare bones, we're merely left with the same old, how did any object get here question. So it's not that information requires a mind to create it. The only thing we can say about minds and information is that a mind, or minds, is necessarily required to interpret that information. More than a subtle difference. And if life in the universe did not exist, i.e. the universe contained only inanimate objects, there would still be information, but no one to read it. How the objects got there is irrelevant, so how can anyone contrive to shoehorn a designer into any of this? Then, of course, there's the massive problem in explaining where any creator got its information from, including that which describes itself. Think about that conundrum for a minute, because if the designer contrived to define information, where did it get the information to allow for that process? This is where Neph goes into some real science.
We know why. Because the earth was flooded. Because God flooded the earth to wipe out the wickedness of mankind. To restart, to reboot mankind.
No, where were we? Carry on, Neph.
DNA repair mechanisms could never have been produced by evolution. It's an utterly astonishing, ingenious process.
You see, that is the point I want to address in this video. It's quite simple. The existence of DNA repair is in fact the very last thing you would expect of an all-knowing creator, designer. What's being said here? Is it that the creator didn't carry out a beta test as per YouTube guidelines, or lack of them? Now, we are not talking about degradation, nor wear and tear over time of a good design, but we are talking about the correction to random mutations. Yes, random mutations. Why, I ask you, does a competent designer design random mutations? I say get it right first time, and then there is absolutely no place for random mutations. and hence no need for DNA repair. And ask yourself this: if according to the creation brigade all mutations are detrimental in order to successfully degrade life, then why bother repair any mutations at all? Indeed, why allow some mutations to be repaired while others are allowed to avoid this process and be passed on? No, without a doubt, DNA repair is a powerful argument against design, whereas there is no inconsistency with evolution instigating and then over time refining, nay evolving, a repair mechanism. If DNA repair is the result of a designer, then it can only be to atone for its incompetence and poor design practice, probably down to a lack of training due to galactic cutbacks. Yet this would be the same designer who has the capability of designing viruses that can kill humans while using random mutations to continue this process by negating any buildup of immunities and/or vaccines. Would you want to buy a car designed by this bloke? I wouldn't for sure.
We don't ride horses anymore.
We don't ride horses anymore. Yet you believe in a 3,000-year-old book written by scientifically illiterate people who rode horses, mules, asses and donkeys. And Revelations actually prophesies that every man and his dog will turn up on horseback.